Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Welcome everybody guys, today we again will take a look at the euro currency. So yesterday we see that the session was not really extended in range, so it was minor candle on the daily chart, but for us currently it's very important to estimate the point where market could turn to the upside. That's why we're continuing to monitor the euro currency. And so at the first glance it seems that nothing special has happened, but in reality we need to take a look at the intraday charts to understand what to expect in the nearest few hours. Also guys, we're continuing to watching for Australian dollar, since we need to catch the possible upward reversal on Australian dollar as we have discussed in our weekly research. Also it's the same on the gold market, so this probably will be turning up simultaneously, and very probable that this also will be accompanied by the reversal on the euro currency as well. And probably it's not the secret that non-farm payrolls release really could shake the markets in the current week, because yesterday we have got the surprising weak ADP report. So just 156,000 has been created, so it's not really very impressive for the markets. Yesterday was really the big cluster of the data has been released, and the data mostly was mixed. So this factory orders was a bit stronger than the ADP was a bit worse than expected. The ISM index was better, so it was really has led to some volatility on the market, as you can see on the intraday charts. And in reality, in fact, the ADP surprising weak report has brought uncertainty and brings the intrigue in the current expectation on what will happen tomorrow. So today probably we hardly will get some really big action. Still, let's see at least what direction we should get today and what particular we are waiting for. So first of all, guys, on the daily chart, I would like to say that we are watching for retracement down. It could be a bit different in the depth, because on the weekly chart our major area, as we have discussed, is a bit wide. So you could see that here you can see that it's a bit even the 114 area, 114, 115 area. So it's really wide, it's approximately 100 pips range. This market could show the retracement down, and it will not change the overall picture on the weekly chart. It's a bit we should treat it as mostly as the range rather than the definite number. So you can see this market has pretty much room to breathe inside of it, and its retracement could take the different depth. So that's why we're mostly on the daily chart will be watching for this cluster. This cluster is very important. As you can see, that was the real churning action here, because market stands for almost 2 weeks inside of it, and it's a lot of trading volume was here. It was just real traders calls this at the churning, when in the tight range is very big trading volume stands. This calls as the churning. So and as you can see, this long share is really big support here. Market is trying to move lower and lower, showing the failure here, but every time something has supported market and pushed it again to the upside and kept market in the tight range. The same as to the upside. This market trying to move high, but every time it has failed, and that's why, as you can see, if you will take a look at the closing ranges to the closing and open, was the real range of the trading here. This was really very tight, so two different powers were pressed on the market, as from the downside as from the upside, and it's just keep tight like under pressure this trading activity. Also, as you can see, this activity was precisely at the former top. So market hasn't shown really big failure here. That's why this cluster really plays significant meaning for us, since we do not want to see that market will drop below it. If market will drop below this cluster, this will be a very negative sign for the bullish perspective. Whatever depth of the retracement market will show, it should hold above or inside of this cluster. So probably if retracement will happen to the weekly monthly pivot point 1380 area, this really will be acceptable. The one thing that we would like to see is that market just stands in the upper border, in the upper part of this consolidation, or at least inside of it, but not drop below this consolidation. This dropping below this consolidation will tell us that probably again market has failed to pass through this area and return it back down, and we should be prepared for very deep action, maybe again to the 108 area. So that will be negative sign. But since May still has a lot of time till the end of the month, currently it looks like the graveyard doji, like here, but this month hasn't finished yet, and the market could return it back up if some events will happen that push market high, and this will show us a real breakout. Recall that we're treating this area is very important, and the real breakout will tell us that market has moved from this range of trading to that range of trading, and we really could expect the action at least to the 118 area if this breakout will be confirmed, and if this will become just a minor retracement, if market will not reverse down here. And we will be able to judge about it based on the current retracement and on the depth of this retracement. So if market will hold about the weekly monthly pivot point, and even it will be better if market will reach 114.30 area, 114.50, and will hold here. This will be much better, and it will turn up right from this area. So that's what we particularly will be watching for. And as I said, as ADP report has brought the surprise, if non-farm payrolls also will be weak, it's really could support the euro currency in the current upward direction, and we finally could get this breakout. So currently still some hopes exist, and the chances exist that market really could turn to the upside again. So on the other currencies, what we are also waiting for is the Australian dollar, as I said, and Great British Pound, of course, because on Great British Pound drop was really significant when the market has hit our target on the weekly chart, I mean the hand shoulders that we have discussed. And currently we should understand whether this real reversal and whether market really could continue move down at the eve of the Brexit voting. So this really could bring also very interesting trading setup. But right now on the euro currency, on the intraday charts, guys, on the 4-hour time frame chart, what we see, this volatility on the mixed data, you can see very similar action as here. Recall, guys, what I have said about the high waves pattern. Here we have another one, not as great as here, not as perfect as here, but still it plays very significant role. And right now, as you can see, market is tending to the downside. We see another pattern that pushes market lower. I will show you on the hourly chart, but right now market moves down, and we think that this just confirms the idea that we have discussed yesterday, that probably market will show some deeper action. We haven't got any ABCD based on the yesterday action as we suggested, but currently still market is gravitating lower, and the next destination point will be an area somewhere in this confluence support, 114.26, 114.62. It's a bit wide, but still this could be treated as the confluence. Maybe even market will reach the weekly pivot point, because it is accompanied with the monthly pivot point. So weekly pivot 1376, monthly 1377, so just 1 pips difference. So this is very important also support area, and this is in general will be acceptable. As I said, on the weekly chart, as you can see, 1380 area, it will be right here. So nothing really drastic will happen if market will show retracement here. Of course, I prefer to see some ending of the retracement somewhere in the 1430, somewhere in this area, but taking into consideration existing of the untouched weekly and monthly pivots, it really could happen. And of course, all eyes on the non-farm payrolls release. If market will form some reversal pattern here and non-farm payrolls will be worse than expected, then probably we could start to think about taking a long position with the upward continuation, because we're still watching for these areas. We have specified it as a major support that we will be watching for. On hourly chart, guys, market is forming bearish dynamic pressure, so it's already starting to work, but it hasn't reached the target yet. So you can see the trend has shifted bullish, but price action stands flat, and market has no power to turn to the upside. This volatility is due to the data released yesterday. The target of this pattern usually is these lows. So market should take it out of these lows, but if this will happen, this probably could lead to the further downward continuation to the next somewhere in an area of this confidence support. So that's what will be watching for. Currently market shows its weakness, and if market will take it out of these lows, as you can see, I have marked it with a red circle. This is some kind of the high wave pattern. This could lead to the further drop, because in this case high wave again will show us the direction. So if market will take the extreme point of the high wave, it usually moves in the same direction. So if it will take the lows, it means that it will drop lower. If it will take the top, it means that it will continue move higher, as it was here. So market, as soon as market has taken out of this top, minor retracement and upward continuation. So that's why it's very interesting. So that being said, currently we on the euro currency expect a further drop, and we first will be watching for confidence support on the forward time frame chart, because currently this is our major area to watch for. But also we can't exclude that market could drop slightly lower to the combination of the monthly pivot point, the weekly pivot point, and this FIB support 1368. It's also possible. This will not be something really bad for market. This just will be the deeper retracement, and in this case we need to see what really will happen there. So any drop below this cluster, this market will drop below these lows in the 1330 area. So tell us that probably market has failed again to move through the 1480 long-term resistance. That's why current action on the euro currency is very important for us.